Corporations are people, my friend. These words were spoken by Mitt Romney at the Iowa State Fair on August 11th, 2011, as he campaigned for the 2012 Republican presidential nomination in response to hecklers who were calling for an increase in corporate taxes. If only he hadn't said it quite that way. So soon after Citizens United Supreme Court decision in February 2010, if only he hadn't been so snarky in reply to the peanut gallery, Mitt Romney was on to something. What is a corporation? Demos.org defines it as a legal structure that enables individuals to contribute and pool resources, capital, and labor in order to generate a profit. Corporations are created by state law in the state in which they are incorporated. Labor is people. People work for corporations. During my entire time at Starr King, I worked for a corporation. 5 days a week, and thank the labor movement that it's only 5 days a week. We denizens of the Cume farms, factories, mines, hospitals, and retail establishments check our constitutional rights at the door and work in a corporate environment that may or may not be conducive to our health and wealth. From the pre-employment drug screen to mandatory unpaid overtime, also known as wage theft, and lack of expectation of privacy on the job, we willingly surrender our rights for the ability to put a roof over our heads and food in our stomachs. When the schoolyard bully grows up, he or she does not cease being a bully. Workplace bullying is a serious problem that is far too often tolerated, even promoted by human resources departments and managers. If you ever become the target of a workplace bully, there is no law to help you. The Workplace Bullying Institute's recommendation is leave your job. Pink slips have been arriving with frightening frequency since the early 1980s when I began my career in corporate America. I've received 3 of them in just over 30 years on the job. Getting laid off is very hard on self-esteem and confidence, not to mention the bank account. Severance and training may solve the corporate conscience, but in his book, The Disposable American, Louis Uchitel says that laid-off workers may never again achieve the level of income and benefits that they had pre-layoff. While there is legal protection against discrimination and sexual harassment in the workplace, such cases are difficult to prove and seldom winnable. Here, in the first decades of the 21st century, the deck is stacked against the American worker. Our productivity has increased, but our inflation-adjusted wages have decreased or remained flat. CEOs used to make about 40 times what their lowest and paid employees made. Now they make hundreds of times more. What is a worker to do? I believe there are several things that we can do. Though not all of these things will be possible for all workers, at the very least, we can be there for each other. Boycott and refuse to work for companies that have policies negating the inherent worth and dignity of their employees. Let these companies know why you're not buying their products and why you're not applying for their openings. Provide comfort and compassion when someone you know is targeted by a workplace bully or is the victim of discrimination or harassment. Encourage someone whose job is getting them down to take a little time to nourish their spirit. Have the courage to leave a job that does not satisfy your true self and or has no meaning in your life. See if you can introduce a modicum of democracy in the decision-making process where you work. Like it or not, the economy is now global. Make an effort to get to know your coworkers, especially those who have come here from other countries. Knowledge and understanding are powerful. Boycott and refuse to work for companies who are killing our planet. Let the company know why you are not buying their products are applying for their openings. If you are fortunate enough to have a smartphone, there are many apps that will allow you to select causes, scan a barcode, and tell you what company made the product and if that company works for or against the causes you've selected. If you are not fortunate enough to have a smartphone, pick the issue nearest and dearest to your heart and research it when time permits. Vet your shopping list against your research and make substitutes when warranted and possible. Corporations are indeed people, but not in the Citizens United sense. We are all in this together, people. Thank you.